Have you ever felt so broken that even love, loyalty, and years of shared history couldn't keep you from making the worst mistake of your life? My name is Elena, and I used to believe that pain made people stronger. But now I know it can also make you selfish, can cloud your judgment, distort your reality, and lead you to destroy the very things that once held you together. 6 months ago, I had what looked like the perfect life. A loyal husband named Grant, 2 amazing twin sons, a cozy house on a tree-lined street, and a community that knew our names. We had stability, tradition, and love, or so I thought. Now, I'm sitting alone in a dingy apartment, counting the cracks in the ceiling and the number of hours I've cried this week, wondering how the hell it all slipped through my fingers. But this story doesn't start with infidelity. It starts with a loss. When my dad took his own life last year, something in me fractured beyond recognition. One phone call and my entire foundation collapsed. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Grocery store aisles triggered panic attacks. I would blank out mid-conversation, unable to respond to even the simplest questions from my kids. I numbed myself with wine. Every night. Every afternoon. Sometimes before noon. Grant, to his credit, tried everything. Therapy referrals. Long talks, quiet reassurances that I wasn't alone. But I wasn't ready to hear any of it. Felt hollow, unworthy of being saved. Until one morning I woke up and couldn't remember anything about the night before. Not dinner, not if the boys had done their homework. Nothing. That was the moment I agreed to get help. Grant drove me 3 hours to the facility. He carried my bags, kissed my forehead, promised the kids would be okay. I watched his SUV disappear down the drive, not knowing I'd return to a completely different life. The treatment center wasn't some glamorous spa. It was raw, intense, stripping you of every comfort so you could finally face your pain. But Grant never faltered. He called every chance he got, drove to see me during visitation, sent letters, care packages, encouraging texts. He never missed a beat. Keeping the house afloat, working full-time, parenting solo, showing up for therapy calls. He was the anchor while I was drifting in open water. And that's when Liam appeared. He wasn't like the others in the program. Most people kept to themselves or wore fake smiles. Not Liam. He was real in a way that made me ache. His mother had died of cancer, and alcohol had swallowed him whole. There was no small talk between us. Our connection was immediate, intense, and terrifyingly safe. We understood each other's darkness without needing to explain it. I didn't fall for him, not at first. It was just warmth. A heartbeat in the silence. He made me laugh. Genuine stomach-clenching laughter that I hadn't felt in over a year. And that laughter became a lifeline. We shared therapy sessions, walked laps during recreation, confessed secrets under the stars like teenagers in hiding. It felt like breathing again after months underwater. When we talked about life after discharge, I didn't see him as a romantic option. Not yet. But when I imagined going back to my old life, cleaning lunchboxes, packing soccer bags, sleeping in a house that reminded me of everything I'd lost, I felt like I was being buried alive. Coming home didn't feel like coming home. Felt like stepping into someone else's story. Grant had kept everything perfect. The boys were thriving, the house was immaculate. He cooked, cleaned, parented, and looked at me with so much tenderness it made me nauseous. I should have been grateful. Instead, I felt suffocated. Everywhere I looked, people were watching, waiting to see if I was better now. Grant asked how I was feeling 10 times a day. His eyes scanned me like a barometer of emotional storms. But I didn't need a caretaker. I needed air. Faith. Something that felt real. That's when Liam messaged me. "How's reality treating you?" Just that one line and I was gone. We started texting. Harmless, supportive at first. But those messages became my oxygen. Grant asked about therapy schedules. Liam asked about me. My dreams. My favorite books. The songs I listened to when I was 17. He made me feel like a person again, not a project. Not a burden. Late-night texts turned into video calls. Then came compliments, flirting, confessions. He told me I was beautiful, that he missed me, that I was the best part of his day. I told myself it wasn't cheating. There was no physical contact, just emotional honesty. But I knew deep down that was a lie. The turning point came when Liam asked for pictures. I hesitated, but I sent them. Not nudes at first. Just flirtatious photos in new lingerie. Playing with fire I pretended wasn't burning down the life around me. And then I said the words, "I love you too." Grant never snooped. He trusted me. So when he picked up my phone from the counter that night while I was upstairs tucking the boys in, it wasn't suspicion, it was habit. A message had popped up. "I miss you." And I, in a moment of muscle memory, had replied, "I miss you too." When I came down, he was standing there, phone in hand, his face hollow. He didn't scream. He didn't throw things. He simply read the messages out loud. My words, my betrayal, my lies. I tried to explain. I told him it wasn't physical, that I was lonely, still grieving, still healing. But the more I talked, the more I realized none of it mattered. Grant had been loyal, faithful, devoted. He'd walked through fire for me. And I had set everything he built on fire for a man who barely knew me outside a rehab facility. He didn't fight. He just packed a bag and left. 3 days later he came back, with a lawyer. I thought we'd fix it. That we'd do therapy, reconnect, rebuild. But Grant had been documenting everything. Screenshots, logs. Emotional infidelity was still infidelity. And the court agreed. He filed for full custody, citing my instability and poor judgment. I barely saw my sons. The house was sold. The money split. I got an apartment with paper-thin walls and a part-time job that barely covered rent. My friends drifted away. My own sister said, "You had everything. And you chose fantasy." And Liam. When I told him about the divorce, about custody and lawyers and losing my kids, he panicked. Said he couldn't handle the drama. That he needed to focus on his recovery. A week later he ghosted me. 3 months after that, he got engaged to someone else. I saw it on Facebook. Sunset photos, matching hoodies, hashtags about fresh starts and true love. I wanted to scream. I know how people see me now. The selfish wife. The ungrateful mother. The woman who threw away everything for a man she barely knew. But what they don't understand is that I wasn't chasing romance. I was chasing relief. I was drowning, and Liam made me feel like I was floating. I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. I was just trying to feel alive again. I just wanted someone, anyone, to see me. And in the end I lost everything. So let me ask you this. Have you ever tried so hard to escape your pain that you didn't realize you were turning into the very storm you were running from? 'Cause I did. And I'm still picking up the pieces of what I shattered.